All right, today we're doing something a little different. We're not just looking at a science experiment, we're looking at how that experiment is packaged. We're going to deconstruct a script for a kid's science video to figure out the secret formula it uses to make chemistry not just interesting, but absolutely captivating and totally engineered to go viral. I mean, this one line says it all, right? This comes from our source material, a script from the sparkquarkkids channel. It tells you everything you need to know about their whole approach. It's loud, it's energetic, and it's an immediate promise of some seriously fun chaos. This is our way in. Okay, so let's get right into it. How do you grab the attention of a 6 to 12-year-old when there are a million other things they could be watching? Well, this script's first move is to create what it actually calls a foamy frenzy, and it does it by just launching a full-on assault on the senses. I mean, just look at this list. Every single thing here is completely on purpose. The script specifically calls for layering all these audio and visual cues on top of each other. You've got the music, the crazy narration, all the sound effects, and these super fast cuts. The whole goal is to create this overwhelming feeling of energy and excitement right from the very first second. And this phrase right here is so important. Safe, foamy frenzy. Think about that. Frenzy makes it sound thrilling, wild, maybe even a little bit rebellious, which kids love. But then you have the word safe, and that's the little wink to any parents watching. It tells the kids they're in for an adventure, but it reassures the adults that it's all perfectly under control. It's brilliant. But it's not just a bunch of loud noises in bright colors. The script is also incredibly smart about how it's structured. It doesn't just give you a list of instructions, it actually turns a simple chemical recipe into a suspenseful story, with a clear beginning, a middle, and a really satisfying, foamy ending. The whole process is broken down into this little 3-act play. And just listen to the language. You're not just pouring peroxide into a bottle, you're loading the chamber. You're not just mixing yeast with water, you're waking up a fizz army. See? Every step has a narrative purpose. It builds anticipation and turns a science project into this high-stakes mission. Our brains are just wired for stories, which makes this whole thing so much more memorable than just a boring list of steps. And this line right here perfectly captures the technique. This is what the host yells right before pouring in the final ingredient. By calling the reaction a beast, the script turns it into this dramatic, character-driven moment. You're not just causing a chemical reaction, you are setting something powerful and wild totally free. So what about the actual science part? How does the script handle that? Well, this is where it gets really, really clever. Instead of getting bogged down in technical jargon, it translates some pretty complex chemistry into a simple, sticky, and unbelievably memorable story. Okay, let's just look at this side by side. On the left, you've got the story from the script. An elephant is holding its breath, and a trainer comes along to help it let it all out. And on the right, you have the actual chemistry. The script uses this awesome analogy to explain what a catalyst does. The hydrogen peroxide is the elephant, the oxygen trapped inside is its breath, and the yeast, that's the trainer that triggers the big foamy release. It's a concept a kid can grab onto and remember instantly. Now, here's the textbook definition of a catalyst. I mean, it's accurate, but it's not exactly thrilling, is it? Now compare that to the trainer who wakes up the fizz army. The script doesn't sacrifice the main idea. It just dresses it up in a costume that makes it way more engaging and a lot easier for its audience to digest. And of course, they have to brand it. This little catchphrase is perfect. It ties the whole analogy together, reinforces the theme, and makes their explanation feel like this fun, special thing that's part of their show's identity. It's not just science, it's science their way, with a trunk twist. But hold on, the script's job isn't done when the foam stops pouring out. Oh no, that's really just the beginning. The whole end of the video is this carefully built machine designed to create a feedback loop that drives not just viewership, but more importantly, participation. Look at this formula all laid out in the script. It kicks off with a challenge. Go gigantic. It's basically daring the viewers to do it bigger and better. Then comes the call to action. Film it and tag us, which is basically free advertising, right? They add an incentive, shout-outs for the biggest explosions, which turns it into a game. And finally, you have the classic engagement funnel, pushing you to subscribe and then immediately clicking on another video to keep you watching. So, the real takeaway here is that the elephant toothpaste experiment, it's not the actual product, it's the hook. It's a content-making machine designed to build a loyal and active community. The science demo is just the tool they use to achieve a much bigger goal, growing their audience and keeping them around. And that really leaves us with a pretty provocative question. This script is an incredible blueprint for mixing entertainment, marketing, and education all into one. It proves that you can teach a core scientific principle like catalysis really effectively, maybe even more effectively by wrapping it up in what the script itself calls a safe, foamy frenzy. So it makes you wonder, is the future of learning less about quiet, orderly instruction and more about loud, spectacular, and guided chaos?